Hello, Internet! Shoutthis here, and it's time for another episode of ShoutStone. I am bringing you a Shoutcast from the Hearthstone beta, this time coming from the Polaris Tournament, featuring Totalbiscuit taking on Nick Murphy from the Continue Show. So without any further ado, let's get to Game 1 right now. It is Uther versus Jaina. Totalbiscuit playing the part of Uther the Paladin. Nick Murphy playing the part of Jaina the Mage. So, the rules of this tournament are pretty simple. If you happen to catch the Blizzard tournament, then you probably know how this game goes. Each person has to choose 3 decks. It is a best-of-5 series. When a deck is defeated, it is eliminated. The person who wins 3 times wins the game. Plain and simple. So, as you may have seen this game on Totalbiscuit's channel already, to that of which I say, okay. But if you haven't, you can check it out with commentary from Totalbiscuit and Nick Murphy up on the channel right now. Just go to youtube.com/totalhalibut. Link will be in the description below, of course, as well as a link directly to this video. So, don't miss that. Anyway, Nick Murphy kicking things off with a mirror image, getting a couple of O2 minions with Taunt on the field. Usually that's a pretty nice early game move because it's very hard for your opponent to produce 4 points of damage that early. So it gives you a little bit of a backbone to kind of build up against. So you can start to get some things out on the field without really worrying too much about them dying all too quickly. So it is a really good point the earlier you can get that out, the better, I would honestly say. Alright, Nick Murphy playing Arcane Missiles. That's going to be 3 direct points of damage to Totalbiscuit. Now, Nick Murphy does not have the level of experience in this game that Totalbiscuit does. As you know, he does his Lord of the Arena videos and has a lot of gameplay behind him. And he puts out that Youthful Brewmaster. Now, for those of you not familiar with that card, usually you can use it in conjunction with other of your own friendly cards to recoil them back into your hand. You can replay a minion, basically. And that can give you a really nice kind of rubber banding effect with certain battle cries that can really turn the tide of a game if you play them right. Alright, Nick Murphy playing Arcane Intellect, getting a few other card options. Not much else he can do, however, this turn, so it's back to Totalbiscuit. So he's sitting on 2 Consecrations already. It's still a little early to play any of them, and probably doesn't really need to at this point. So he's going to start picking them apart. Coins in the True Silver Champion, so he's going to have that weapon ready to go once he takes out that last mirror image. Nick Murphy, unfortunately, see, when you play those mirror images so early, you really want to build up behind it and get some more minions out there or something that can take advantage of this defensive shield that you have for at least a couple turns when you play it really early. That may be a lack of experience, or it may just be a lack of cards in the deck. Alright, he's going to play Arcane Explosion, and he will ping away that Brewmaster. So, not the best use of Arcane Explosion, usually better for AoE, but he wanted to get rid of that minion, try to retain his wall for a little bit longer, which is now down to just the 1 mirror image. Of course, Totalbiscuit can burn 1 charge of that True Silver Champion if he wants to really get rid of that last mirror image. I don't think he's going to do that, though, because that's a really valuable card with 4 damage that I'd hate to burn on something that doesn't even do any damage. Right now, it's not really doing anything right now. It's not providing any benefit for Nick Murphy. It's just sort of sitting there and being a minion on the field. So holding on to his True Silver Champion is going to be best for when he can either expose the hero or take away something that's a little more substantial that maybe has 4 health. So instead he does play his hero power, pops that Silverhand Recruit. He could use that, of course, to whittle down the mirror image, depending on what Nick Murphy does on this next turn. Of course, he can also choose to pick it off if he wants to with his hero power. Instead, he will play that Defender of Argus, which will finally give that mirror image a little bit of offense. And he probably will use it to take out the Silverhand Recruit, most likely. That's exactly what he's going to do. So he's doing a good job of removal, at least, and trying to keep Totalbiscuit on the defensive. But now the mirror image is a little more of a threat, because now it can actually deal some damage. I still doubt he's actually going to burn that weapon to take it out. Yeah, I don't know if he's really going to do that. Instead, he's going to play Consecrate. So that'll finally get rid of that last mirror image. It will expose him, give him the shot to use that weapon. And he'll actually use that on the Defender of Argus, which is a little more of a threat. But it basically is a 0 damage exchange due to the heal, so a fine trade right there. So now we're basically back at square one. Nick Murphy's going to have to find some options to start establishing an offense. We're at the midpoint of the game, 6 mana. He's really going to want to start getting some minions out there that can do some reasonable damage. Instead, he's going to play Fireball, which is too bad. And he's just going to burn, just do another ping. You know, it's still 7 damage. You can't really shake a stick at that, but you still, at the early stages of the game, you really want to establish a field presence. And again, he may just not have the options, but it's still something you really want to do. Now, the reason that, well, alright, he's going to burn the last charge on that. I was going to say, the reason he wouldn't burn the last charge on that would be that weapons make really good removal abilities. Because unless your opponent has something like an Acidic Swamp Ooze, they're probably not going to be able to get rid of your weapon, so you can actually use that to take out some pretty sturdy minions. And with the heal that that weapon provides, plus the 4 points of damage, it can remove some pretty sturdy minions. So it looks like he's going to ping away that Divine Shield, but he still needs to get some things out on the field to actually counteract that Argent Commander. And so he will play the Darkscale Healer. That's going to get him back up a couple hit points, and probably provide a target that Totalbiscuit's going to want to take a look at. But he's got a lot of minions in his hand right now. So I certainly think he's going to look at getting some more cards out on the field, getting something else out there basically to try and counteract this. But we're going to take a look here. It's a little bit slow. He's going to play that Elder Peacekeeper, which is going to reduce the damage that that healer can do pretty significantly. So he could take it. Oh, no, actually, he can't take it out on this turn unless he plays a spell alongside it. But he's going to bring in that Argent Protector, which will get him his Divine Shield back, and he's going to play his Hero Power. So now at this point, he's just starting to establish a field presence. He knows that because of either a lack of options or just a slow playing style from Nick Murphy, he couldn't get anything out there. So there's not a big threat on the field right now. There's one minion that maybe has a lot of health, but it has no attack. There's 1 point of attack. That's not going to be enough that Totalbiscuit's going to care about going into the late game. You know, we're reaching that 10 mana stage. At this point, every turn means pretty big minions are going to hit the field. So he's going to pop Arcane Explosion. That'll break the shield again. And it looks like he's going to ping away, probably use that Darkscale Healer to finish off the Argent Commander. Most likely, since it only has that 1 attack and might as well take advantage of it. I think. He's debating very heavily here, but I think he's probably going to do that. Instead, he's going to take out the 2-0 minion. Interesting choice. I don't know why he didn't decide to take out the 4 damage minion, considering he's approaching that mid-health point. You certainly want to take out some more sturdy minions, especially when you're playing against a Paladin player who can keep restoring shields. And now he's playing both Hands of Protection. He's protected both of his minions, and he's playing that Blood Knight. That's why he did that, to get those shields off. Now that Blood Knight is ridiculous. 9/9 minion, because he played both Hands of Protection, and that Blood Knight absorbed both of those shields. Nick Murphy is in a dangerous place right now. He's going to have to start clearing the field. If he has any kind of AoE, it will work. I mean, 3 of those minions out there only have 1 damage, but that 9/9 Blood Knight is going to be nasty. If he has a Polymorph, and he does, just as I was saying that, a good use of Polymorph. And he's going to clear it off with a Fire Blast. So, pretty good stuff there. He does manage to shut down what would have been a game-ending threat, but he still needs to establish field presence. And he does not have that right now. Or board presence, I guess, if you would. But he doesn't have that right now. He has very little. He's under the halfway point in health. He's got a slight card advantage, but at this point, it's really a matter of getting some minions out there. So he's going to put that Shattered Sun Cleric out. I guess that's really all he has at this point, after playing Polymorph and his Hero Power. Totalbiscuit puts Redemption into play. And he will take out that minion and bring it right back. So it gets its shield back. It only has 1 health, but I don't think Totalbiscuit cares at this point. So now we're going to see another round of offense, I think. I'm not sure what he's waiting on. I guess he's just trying to decide what else he wants to throw on the field. But yeah, we're going to get some more pretty significant offense. This looks like GG at this point. Nick Murphy down to 6 hit points. Even a Fire Blast, or a Pyroblast. No, that's what I'm trying to say. Flame Strike. Even a Flame Strike is not sufficient at this point. It's just going to pop a couple shields on 2 minions that could then take him out. I mean, he could theoretically drop a Flame Strike, ping away that Argent Commander, and then just have that 1 minion left to deal with, assuming he has those cards available. Beyond that, there's really not much left. Yeah, I mean, he really just doesn't have the options to respond to this. I mean, he might be able to last 1 more turn, but that's it, because even if he gets the attack from that Sun Fury Protector, Totalbiscuit has Consecration. So even if he had nothing else, if he used that last attack on that Sun Fury could deliver, then he can just play Consecration and win the game. Gonna play Fireball again, which is nice. It's always nice to do 6 points of damage, but it's just too little too late. That's not enough. That's not what he really needs to get out there. He doesn't have Flame Strike, which would really be all he could do here. He is going to Polymorph that minion. Fire Blast it away. But that's all. That's all she wrote. Game over. GG. Totalbiscuit wins. Instead, he's going to do it a little bit stylishly. Finishes things off with Consecration. So there you have it. Totalbiscuit takes game 1 of this little series against Nick Murphy of Continue to go 1-0 up in this tournament. We'll be back with more of this series next Wednesday, so don't miss that. That series will continue with game 2. Remember, Totalbiscuit has to win 3 games in this series to make it all the way to the end. So that's it. Don't forget to sign up for our Hearthstone Tournament. Click the video here to find out how you can sign up and what the rules of the tournament are. And also, check out the latest episode of Games in 60 Seconds. We covered Nidhogg, which is an awesome little sword-fighting swashbuckler game that I really like, and I hope you like it too. But check those videos out. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to find me Facebook and Twitter. Like video, comment, subscribe. I'll see you all next time.